Hey all, welcome back to the channel, and today is Monday. That means it's countdown day, and this one was a fan suggested idea many months ago of the top 10 police Transformers. Now this could be Transformers who are actually police, like on their own planet, or they have a police alt mode. I was like, are there even 10? Indeed there are, and then some. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the top 10 police Transformers in the latest GotBot Counts Down. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light 'em up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please, as it helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you are in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button at any given time, baby, and become a channel member. And yeah, top 10 as voted on by fans, of course, police bots. I think that this is an interesting one. Here are the honorable mentions. There are 3 of them. Rescue Bots Academy Whirl, very much in training. I think that's great. Whirl is a female there, very boisterous, very enthusiastic, but definitely trained to be a police bot. Rescue Bots Chase, the police bot. Yeah, again, Chase, very much by the book. He's one of the versions of Prowl. One of the versions of a police bot that's very by the book. Some Prowls are extremely by the book. Chase kind of follows suit in that same vein, not like his Throttlebot iteration at all. And the third one is a little bit of a stretch, but I allowed the votes for it, being Nightbeat. Nightbeat is actually a detective more than a police bot, but I think he loosely counts. So those were the 3 honorable mentions. Rescue Bots Academy World, Rescue Bots Chase, and Nightbeat. They did not make the list. So who did? You know what we're going to do. We're going to do like we always do and kick things off with number 10 first. Coming in at number 10, we go to the Protectobots and Defensor, and this guy. This, of course, is Groove. And I don't have the deluxe version. I opted to keep Rook as a leg and have Groove be the chest. Plus, I felt like as a motorcycle, it made sense that he was smaller. A lot of people voted for this guy for the simple reason that he turns into a police motorcycle, and motorcycles are cool. Simple as that. Plus, though his character is pretty limited in G1, to a degree, he certainly is very helpful. Some people pointed to his characterization in IDW. I don't know anything about that. But the overwhelming response was that he turns into a police motorcycle, and if you were ever a fan of Chips, remember Chips? I love Chips, that was a great show. If you were ever a fan of Chips, then you were a fan of police motorcycles. That's reason enough for me, and Groove took the number 10 slot. Now coming in at number 9, this is a character that I know some fans have been waiting for to appear on a list. They wanted to give him some time to shine, and it's none other than Deep Cover. Yeah, Deep Cover is part of like the interplanetary exchange program between like human police forces and Cybertronian police forces. So like he works with human police forces to cut down on human crime. That being said, most of his career has been spent doing undercover work, which a lot of people have said that's why we got the Netflix Blue repaint of Deep Cover, because he was undercover there, though I use that as a different character altogether. Plus, on Earth, when he transforms, he's just a police car. I mean, granted, this Siege version would look like a Cybertronian police car. Years of working undercover, they've kind of like taken toll on his patience, on his, you know, on his mindset. He's seen some stuff, done some things, a little bit shady, a little bit under the table sometimes, a little bit gritty when it has to, and he does struggle with his inner demons sometimes. That being said, he loves working with the humans, and he loves kind of cracking down on human crime. Deep Cover also has a couple of interesting tricks. He can create illusions But the most interesting one is his ability to mass shift down to 1/40th of his size. If you're going to be undercover, if you're going to do espionage and spying, man, even if being able to shrink down is a brief period of time thing, that's a huge help. Making illusions, also a huge help. The guy is a detective. The guy is a spy. The guy is a police officer to the core. Deep cover took the number 9 slot. Funny enough, coming in at number 8, we have the brother of Deep Cover being clamped down, who works at a Tokyo with Miko Tezuka, I think is the officer's name. Same sort of thing. He's part of that like interplanetary exchange where he works with human counterparts to crack down on human crime. He is not as jaded, scarred as his brother. He is very fierce. He is very dedicated to law enforcement. Sometimes he thinks a little overly black and white, and if something doesn't align with his sense of justice and his sense of duty, then he could be a little boisterous. I do wish that this version of him from the Velocitron Speedia series had red on the arms and legs where it's supposed to be. But Clampdown is a dedicated officer. Hard to argue with that, you know, making its way on the list. Enough fans like his black and white attitude, like his dedication to law enforcement, that old Clampdown was able to take the number 8 slot. Coming in at number 7, we have this guy, RID 2001 Prowl. Yes, indeed. Now, Prowl, in case you don't know, he's kind of the middle child of the Autobot brothers. He is extremely by the book and extremely disciplined. So much so that it kind of like hurts his ability to think creatively or outside of the box, and it kind of hurts his relationships a little bit because he's so by the book and he expects everybody else, human and robot alike, to also do everything by the book. That said, because he is so cautious, because he has such precaution, he absolutely, positively has helped the Autobots to like kind of avoid disaster many times. Not to mention that even though he's so uptight, even though he's not somebody who has a lot of fun, to be fair and to his credit, he is really proud to be an officer. He is really proud to uphold the law. He is really capable when it comes to hand-to-hand combat as well. That being said, even his ability in hand-to-hand combat is tempered by it having to be by the book. No excessive force, nothing outside the norm. He certainly wouldn't fit in with, say, the Wreckers, for example. But RID 2001 Prowl takes the number 7 slot. Coming in at number 6, we have the Autobots' answer, well, to Shaft, basically, with Streetwise. Streetwise is dedicated to law enforcement. Streetwise is tough. Streetwise will not back down. Streetwise is a part of the Defensor, but like really only Defensor, right? He's one bad dude, you know. That bot Streetwise is one bad, you know, shut your mouth, right? Streetwise he's great. He is the epitome of like the hard to control but well-intentioned police bot who might work outside the lines sometimes, but you know what? The results in the end will make this guy a hero. Streetwise, that's who I'm talking about, takes the number 6 slot. And here we are at the ever-popular, ever-coveted halfway mark. And at the halfway mark, we have another Prowl entry on the list with this guy. Animated Prowl, baby, yes. Animated Prowl, the cyber ninja who is a master of Circuitsu and Metallicato. Well, maybe not quite a master, because he actually has a really complex character. Because he failed to kind of like protect some infant protoforms or infant sparks or something. Like he left his studies like in disgrace, and he's always seeking redemption. He's always seeking inner peace, which is why he does a lot of meditation and communes with Earth Nature a lot. He really kind of feels a connection to Earth Nature, which I guess ties in with him. He's not so much of a team player because he finds everybody else sort of like loud and clumsy and boisterous. But when push comes to shove, he knows that they're good bots in their spark, right? His abilities include like a jetpack. He's able to make holographic projections of himself. He's able to use his throwing stars. His hand-to-hand combat is second to none. His ability with the blade is second to none. And of course, we all know his honor is second to none. So much so that he's willing to make the ultimate of sacrifices in the name of what he believes in. Hard to argue with Animated Prowl being one of the best police bots going, and for that reason he takes the number 5 slot. Sometimes there are good cops, sometimes there are bad cops. And coming in at number 4 we have Siege Barricade. Siege Barricade, long story short, like while he is a peacekeeper, so to speak, with the Decepticons, I mean, he uses that term rather brutally and rather loosely. I mean, he's unpleasant, he's tough, he's rugged, he's not good to be around, he's not someone you want to cross. You know, you don't want this guy to have to interrogate you. Let me put it to you that way, right? And enough fans like that the original Micromaster kind of got upgraded and evolved into being a police presence that, honestly, Barricade, whether he's corrupt or not, takes the number 4 slot. And here we are into the top 3, baby. Top 3. And at number 3 we have this character. Yeah, it is RID 2015 Strongarm, the police cadet bot. She was very enthusiastic, very proud to be part of Bumblebee's team. She is much like RID 2001 Prowl. She is extremely by the book. She follows the rules, she follows the regulations. That being said, she's also very enthusiastic and sometimes gets herself into situations and trouble by kind of being overly enthusiastic. And though she might go in sometimes head first into dangerous situations, she does so tempered by the idea that it all has to be by the book. It all has to be by the code that she has to follow, right? And if it's not, then that sometimes leads to trouble as well. She is definitely the conscience of Team Bumblebee. She is definitely the most weary of Team Bumblebee, especially considering, you know, Grimlock's not going to be, and Sideswipe is definitely not going to be. So much so that she really struggles with Sideswipe. Fix-It's not going to be, and Denny, and I can't remember Denny's son's name now, they're not going to be. But as much as all of that is true, and as much as B has a like kind of live and let them learn by doing sort of command style, she very often needs someone a little older, a little wiser, with a little more experience to steer her in the right direction. By the book mixed with enthusiasm can be a bit of a strange combination. Nevertheless, fans like this character enough that she was able to take the number 3 slot. Now coming in at number 2, we have another version of Barricade. This being the 07 movie version of Barricade. And a lot of people said that this is, I counted them differently because the personality of the Siege version of Barricade is really based on his appearance in like the IDW comics, so to speak. This one is from the movie. He is more of a hunter. He is a loyalist to Megatron, but he's also sneaky and somewhat conniving. He will put self-preservation over all else. That's why in the films, he's one of the few Decepticons that even in Dark of the Moon did not get destroyed. He went into hiding because he knows that at the end of the day, when you're able to squirrel away and fight another day, that's how you survive. Vehemently loyal to Megatron. He will hunt humans, he will destroy humans, he will punish, he will enslave. Barricade. Whether we're talking about him from the original movie trilogy or The Last Night, it almost doesn't make a difference. Though, to be fair, there were a number of people who, when they voted for him, specifically said 07 Barricade, rather than Last Night Barricade. So, that's why I have this version, right? The original 07 Barricade. A vicious hunter that would hunt down the flesh bags and the bots alike, takes the number 2 slot. And with all of the fan votes done, we finally reach number 1. And number 1 should come as no surprise. Number 1 won by a substantial margin, and it is indeed G1 Prowl. Now this is the Earthrise Prowl. I don't have the G1 here, but I definitely painted this one up to be as G1 accurate as it could possibly be. Now, I'm going to say this with a caveat. While this is the clear winner, there were a number of voters who simply voted Prowl. They did not specify if it was animated, if it was RID 2015, if it was Cyberverse, if it was Transformers Prime, if it was RID 2001, or what it was. If they did not specify, if they did not replied to me back when I asked them which version, then it automatically got lumped in with G1. So while G1 won, it is certainly possible that the substantial margin shouldn't be as big as what it is. In terms of personality, the G1 version is different from all the other ones because we have some versions of Prowl, as we've seen, that are exceedingly by the book. We have some, like the IDW version, that's pretty maniacal, actually. And then we have this one. And the G1 version was fairly by the book, but not so much that it stifled his ability to think outside the box and be creative. A skilled combatant, a capable officer, a loyalist to Optimus Prime and the Autobot cause. Honorable, able, capable, and law-abiding. How can you argue with G1 Prowl? He was the first of the police bots, and probably the best known of the police bots. G1 Prowl, based on fan votes, clearly took the #1 slot. And there we've gone from 10 down to 1 once again, but that's not all the votes that we had. Siren, or Shuda, if you will, had some votes. The MP Prowl, the Earthrise Prowl, they specifically had some votes. K9 from Beast Wars. I like that one. Tyrest Enforcer Ultra Magnus, I guess from the comics. Tarn from the Decepticon Justice Division. Technically, he's an officer, right? Again, you talk about bad cops. Corden had some votes. Specifically IDW Prowl. ACAB had some votes, or ACAB if you prefer, which is technically Streetwise. Holy, or Holly, had some votes. Stakeout had some votes. Checkpoint had some votes. And just for fun, Energon Prowl had a vote. I think he had 1 vote. That's it. We've got from 10 down to 1. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you are in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See if we have anything to offer to you through Spring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button at any given time, man, and become a channel member. Hit the subscribe button, please. Stick around. Have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget that somehow, some way, that was Starscream Wife. Somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you do make a difference in the world, and I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here, inside the videos.